Alright everybody, hello and welcome. As always, I'm Sean and this is in the Mixer, episode 128 of our FC Isle of Man series. Happy Wednesday wherever in the world you might be watching from, or whatever the day of the week it is, depending if you're watching this one on a playlist or on the weekend or however it is you consume your media. Hope you're having a good one. As good as February was, if you checked out yesterday's episode, March has so far been a little bit of a struggle, but we have a great opportunity to try and turn it around and get two big results in today's episode. I'm not going to waste too much time. We're going to jump straight in and look at how we've gone. So, as you guys can see, we are in 7th spot, still in the European places just. We have had 2 games against Chelsea that we played off screen. We'll jump in and have a look at those results now. The first in the league itself, a 3-1 defeat. They were very, very good. In the first half, they really could have scored like 6 or 7 goals, and they were 3-0 up at half-time. We did pull one back late on, pulled out the hairdryer at half-time when attacking in the second half. That seemed to help us quite a bit. We were testing out a counter-attacking style, which I don't think is quite what we need it to be. And in the FA Cup, we rotated quite a bit. Again, they were fantastic in the first half, a 3-0 deficit at half-time. They did get another one late on after we went attacking. And I guess the bonus that you could kind of pull out of this is that we rotated some of our players through, and it does mean that a few of the guys that were missing in yesterday's episode are now on their way back to fitness. Berber, of course, still not going to play this season. Warburton is nearly fit. Blaw's nearly fit. Ortiz is back fit again. Rivera missed a game or 2 in there. It does allow us to kind of field a full bench and a full squad, which is very, very helpful for the 2 games that we've got today. First up, Arsenal away at the Emirates Stadium, and then a home game against Leeds, a huge one for our season. Interestingly for Arsenal, they are sitting down in 11th spot. They've kind of struggled this year. They're 11 points behind us on 41 points. And similarly, Leeds were actually the side that was in the top 7 prior to us jumping in there. But the wheels have come off for them a little bit over the last month or so. They haven't had a good run of fixtures, and they've dropped down to 46 points, 6 points behind us. So we're really in 2 different scenarios today. We're either going to continue to just doggy paddle a little bit above the rest of the teams in that 7th position. Or if we have 2 poor results, we're probably going to get dragged back into this scrap against Bournemouth and Leeds. Potentially, even if they get their shit together, Arsenal could go on a run. They've got a very strong squad. So this is really an important episode to try and make sure that we have the best run home possible and that we're in pole position, not chasing other teams. Right, so something different. This is the tactic that we're going to go with. We're going to try and get this fluid counter working. It didn't work against Chelsea, but maybe that was poor on my part to be trying to use it against Chelsea. We were in good form with the tactic, with an attacking style. Maybe we should have taken that into that game a little bit more. This time, because we're on the back of 2 defeats, I'm hopeful making this fluid counter adjustment against an Arsenal side that will play that Diego Simeone very aggressive 4-4-2 with very little space between their lines. We can maybe, kind of catch them unawares, get ourselves into 1v1 situations in wide areas, particularly for Winter and Peacock, and hopefully take advantage. We are going to make one change, actually, I think. I think Ortiz will come back in. He is back to full fitness now, and he was excellent before his injury. So hopefully a left footer on that left-hand side gives us a bit more width, helps us drag them a little bit wider. And then the other one I might change is I might give Mejdu benefit of the doubt. We'll play him against his old club just because in case he scores, we might get that little text line down the bottom in commentary he scored against, or bit in the hand that used to feed, or whatever it actually says this year. And as far as the bench is concerned, I'm not going to risk Warburton. We'll let Blaw, Warburton and Berber sit out entirely. It will mean we've got 1 open space on the bench. But we should be able to adjust quite a few different positions out there. And of course, now that we're kind of in the run home, heading into March football, we can start actually looking towards where do we need to improve the squad, where do we need to grow our depth a little bit further, and start looking at the transfer market for the off-season. More than enough from me though, let's jump in and have a look at the 2 lineups. Right, first up, I'll run through us really quickly. Mancini, of course, in goal. Mokhtar and Esteban as the defensive partnership. Mejdu, as we discussed, comes in at left back. Cedron over at right back, served his suspension and back in the team. Henry and Leicester will anchor midfield, with Barbosa playing as the attacking midfielder ahead of them. Ortiz on the left. Peacock, our leading assist maker, on the right, and Rivera leading the line up top. For Arsenal, a very, very flat 4-4-2. It's a super aggressive formation. It's very much in the vein of Atletico Madrid if you've watched Simeone's matches and teams over the last few seasons. Martinez, their captain at the back, 26-year-old Colombian defender, a very, very good ball-playing defender at the back there. Phenomenal mental and physical attributes. Technique, not fantastic for a ball-playing defender, but a very good player, and he's been at Arsenal now for a good few seasons as well. In midfield, they've got Arkin, who I've spoken about probably about 10 different times now. He was a phenomenal wonder kid that came through Sochaux over in France. We tried to get him a couple of different times, but in the end, we just didn't have the cash at the time. 76 million is what it eventually took to pry him away, and he's been an absolute beast for Arsenal since then, consistently getting 7.33, 7.48, 7.28, very good ratings in the centre of midfield. And his versatility as well, you should know, can play in the middle, can play at the 10, can do a job out wide, can play up top if needed. Looking to the left, they've got Telga On the left-hand side here, an inverted winger that they're playing a little bit deeper than I think he'd prefer. Very good physical attributes, so 19 acceleration, 19 agility, 17 pace. He's going to be one that we have to keep an eye on. And up the top, it doesn't look like they're playing Turin. Turin is the guy who's been scoring all the goals for them this season, 22-year-old Italian striker. He looks very, very solid. They've gone to send with Davidson, Demetrio, and Sokolenko. Sokolenko we played against a few times, but Demetrio is a little bit new. 27-year-old Brazilian international. 2 caps. His name is at Wolves for a bit. Has been at Arsenal for a few seasons. It'd be interesting to see if maybe they're rotating a little bit and taking us lightly. Assertively, we're going to say expect to see much better performance from you guys today after 2 defeats against Chelsea and 7 goals conceded in the last 2 matches. We really just need to try and get our foot in the door at the Emirates and hopefully get our way to a clean sheet. First highlight of the game though, ball's with Arkin and Subasic with the header from distance. Tomislav Subasic, 10th goal of the season from him. It was kind of just out of nothing really. Arkin did have the ball and he does keep it very well, but Peacock was right there on him. It's not like he had miles of time and space to try and pick out the right cross. And he just puts it back stick and Subasic from distance. It's not a bad header, but maybe Mancini could have done a little bit better. He wasn't miles away from it. He had gone the right way, and Esteban's picked up an injury as well, so this isn't going fantastically well. All right, we're a bit light at the back at the moment. Maybe can Gary Lester do a job in centre-back? Can Henri do a job at centre-back? Maybe we're in Cambridge in the middle. Not ideal, but I think maybe also we switched back to our positive tiki-taka style if we're going to be playing a midfielder at the back. Ball-playing defender, let's go ball-playing defender on cover and make use of his passing ability. And maybe we also push Medjadu to be a fullback on attack. Not ideal, not a good sub for us to have to make, especially 15 minutes in and a goal down. But let's give it a whirl, and then let's also use our get creative shout. They've immediately got a throw in here, deep on the side. The goal scorer Subasic with the ball. Now, Alleluia, I think is how you pronounce that. Barbosa wins it back in a good area. Rivera is going to recover and looks for Ortiz, but it's cut out by Linares, the right fullback. Just stand him up, boys. Don't do anything silly. Subasic cuts inside and gets the strike away. It's a double for Subasic. 11th goal of the season for him. A very, very good strike. He's actually scored the same amount of goals from the right-hand side of their midfield 4 as we've had from our striker this season. He must be a very good player. Subasic does quite well. And actually, once he gets into space there, just looks immediately to that bottom left-hand corner. Smashes it past the keeper. I can't be upset about Mancini not getting to that one. Rivera, back to Barbosa here. Now Henri, Mokhtar, back to Henri again. Leicester, Cedron, Peacock. Keeping the ball well. My concern is though that they're just going to win it back and then put one ball over the top to get goal side. Cedron cuts it back to Peacock, edge of the area, gets the strike away. It's an excellent goal from Neil Peacock. Actually very similar to Subasic's goal that we just saw. 5th goal of the season for the right winger. We'll check it out here in 3 dimensions. Good response from the team. Maybe that tactical tweak has helped us just a little bit. Cedron getting forward helps quite a bit. Back to Peacock, and then it's a good strike on his right foot. Keep him maybe a little bit unsighted by some of his defenders and Rivera in front of him there, but a wonderful, wonderful effort. And our first shot, first goal, first strike on target, all coming in that highlight. What we might do, 30 minutes gone, use Get Creative just before halftime. Everyone seems inspired, which is great, but they've got a wide free kick. Demetrio goes front stick, and Subasic, that was his chance to get for the hat-trick in the first half. Clips the crossbar on its way out. If we want to focus on the positive, at least we know... Oh, hang on, they've got a highlight here. Maybe I shouldn't focus on the positive. Maybe I should be very negative. Vergara with the ball in. Mokhtar with a good header away. Cambridge to Barbosa. Peacock's out on the right-hand side if we can find him. Bit slow getting the ball out to him. He does well, though, to keep possession. But Cambridge gives it away in a poor position. Subasic wins it back, and Sokolenko's got goal side. Mancini with an excellent save before it's hooked away by Cambridge in midfield. What I was going to say is if we get to half-time, at least we know what our team talk's going to be. And we're there now. 10 shots, 6 on target, 34% possession for Arsenal. 2 shots, 2 on target, 66% of the ball for us. We're going to say aggressively. Show me something else in the second half, and at least tactically we know we can put our foot down a little bit and go attacking. In our shape, in our structure, we'll just adjust a couple of these individual roles. I know Henri has been an absolute superstar for us this season, filling in a variety of roles, positions, and whatever else. Hopefully, he can make his way through the next 45 minutes playing at centre-back. Throwing here, though, for Arsenal. Someone's got to get tied to this number 9. Sokolenko with the ball now. Has picked up a knock. Kin now, edge of the area. Got to be careful. As soon as I saw him pick up that ball in space, you knew he was going to absolutely smash that one in. He's a phenomenal player. 9th goal of the season for him. Sokolenko gets the assist for that one. And we're not in very good form at the moment. This will make it 10 goals we've conceded in the last 3 games. Kin, once he got into that area, there was really no doubt, I think, in his mind, in my mind, in any of your minds watching, that he was going to rifle that one into the roof of the net. And he did just that. Through the arm, blah, 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 blah. I've lost the ability to speak as well as the ability to manage. Through the hour mark now, we're going to make a couple of subs. I think we're going to go for broke a little bit. Rivera has struggled, so we'll bring on Phillips, and Ortiz has struggled, so we'll bring on Jimmy Winter. It's always risky with 30 minutes remaining to make all three of your subs. There's pretty much cues automatically, either a sending off or an injury, but we've already had one injury of the game. Maybe those dice have already been rolled. We'll go get creative as well with 30 minutes remaining. Let's see if we can't pull something back. Try and save a bit of character. Peacock with the corner. Telga with the header away. It's going to fall to Mokhtar. Now Cambridge into Barbosa. Triangles there. Men have stayed forward. Mokhtar. Oh, he's lost out to Hayford, who's come off the bench. Moses Hayford, I think his name is. He's a young English right back. We've looked at him a couple of times. And thankfully, the drive from the edge of the area straight at Mancini, who does well to save and hold. Statistically, we picked up a little bit. We were on 1 shot, 1 on target, and then 2 shots, 2 on target for quite a long time. We've had a couple in the last few minutes. We might recover the possession here through Cedron. Leicester, now to Peacock, who's been very busy in the second half. Ball out to Cambridge. Now Medjugorje on the left-hand side. What can he do against his old club? Winter into Leicester. Top of the area. Looks for Peacock again. What can we work here, boys? Leicester loses out. Telga with a long ball forward, and they're 2v2 here. Torian, the goal scorer we spoke, come off the bench, and he's found the finish as well. It's 4 goals conceded for the second game in a row. 16th goal of the season for Matteo Turin. And really, we just kind of overcommitted a little bit there. Left ourselves in a 2v2 situation. Telga just with a long ball forward. And really, defensively, we should be doing better. I think it's Henri, who I can't be super critical of, actually. I was about to say Esteban's let us down, but it's Arnaud Henri. It's not his position. I shouldn't be getting too upset with him against one of the best strikers in the division itself. We might drop off for the last 10 minutes or so. Just go positive. Try and damage limitation here. And Torin with the strike from distance. Mancini puts it around the post. We're also going to use our demand more shout for the last 10 minutes. Let's just try and hang on a little bit here, boys. Don't ruin our goal difference any further than we have. Thankfully, it doesn't look like Bournemouth have won or Leeds, which keeps us in 7th spot. All ball back stick towards Lil Bubbo, so we pulled one back late on. 89th minute, 3rd goal of the season for the Brazilian number 10. Peacock again with a great ball. He's had a good second half, or at least he's had a good portion after the 30th minute when we're already a couple of goals down. But a good goal and a good assist for him on the day. 4 minutes to be added on. Ooh, there's a late highlight here as well. We're going to make this interesting for the last few minutes. Leicester with the ball. Ball out to Peacock. Tries to knock it down for Cedron. Across now to Leicester. Now Peacock again. Ball to Winter. Great strike from Jimmy Winter. 4th goal of the season for him. And we've left our run too late here. But I think we know now that positive structure was maybe the right track that we were on for this match against Arsenal. Leicester with a good ball in, and then Peacock just hangs this one into a great area. Winter with the first time of asking on the full volley. Absolutely rifled that one beyond the keeper. No one can save that. And 4th goal of the year for him is going to set up a very tense last 30 seconds here. The highlights continued. We're going to see any late highlights. Medjugorje's recovered possession. Mancini, long ball forward to Barbosa. Cambridge. What can we do here? Back in possession. Let's get the ball forward, boys. Leicester. Well, he's lost out to Telga, who has gotten goal side and has runners around him. He's gone himself. Look for Davidson in behind, and it's a good save for Mancini. Davidson could have gone near post where it was wide open. Instead, he tried to go back across the keeper, and a good save from Mancini. He's going to take the resulting corner as well. A lot of additional time being added on at the end of the originally signalled 4 minutes. Hayford with the ball for Arsenal. Backstick ball towards Turin, and Mancini comes out and claims. Referee calls full time, so we brought it back a little bit in the end. I should give everyone credit for showing a bit of character. But 22 shots, 16 on target, and 35% of the ball for Arsenal. I think we kind of played into their hands quite a bit in that one. 7 shots, 5 on target, 65% possession for us. I'm going to say far from pleased, and at least everyone's responded positively, which is good. So it does mean we stay in 7th spot. Bournemouth do have a game in hand. They didn't actually play on this match day. That might see them, if they win, go to 51 points. Still behind us, but definitely falling back into that gap. Leeds picked up 1 point in a 0-0 draw against Watford, so it might be a good time to play them. They're struggling for wins at the minute. But you can kind of see there's that gap between these top sides, really. And if I'm being completely honest, Arsenal move up to 10th spot and 44 points. They are probably a much better team than we actually are at the moment. But thankfully, we're beating the majority of the other sides lower than us in the division. Subasic gets the man of the match award, his 2 goals, and Medjugorje suffers a defeat against his former club. Maybe that's on me. Maybe I shouldn't have rotated. We had a good team and a good side in decent little run of form going into that match. I'm going to clear everybody out now. I'm going to give everybody 2 days rest, just an additional bonus day, just to try and get a few players fully fit. Jamie Warburton might be needed for the next game. He returns to full training tomorrow. And it looks like Esteban is going to be out for 2 to 4 weeks, which isn't ideal either. Elliot Bloor, similarly, 3 to 6 weeks before he's back from his dislocated shoulder. Magic of editing though. Let's jump forward to the game against Leeds and look at the 2 lineups now. All right, just like that, we are about a week ahead. We have made a couple of changes. We have got a few sides, or a few players, I should say, back in the side, which helps us quite a bit. Carlos Andre will come back in at left back. Warburton will come back in. One, as he returns from injury, but also to cover for Esteban, who's out for a couple of weeks. And I'll persist with Ortiz on the left-hand side. He didn't have the greatest game last time out, but it is his first game back from injury. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Otherwise, it's relatively close to unchanged, but we are going to go our attacking vertical tiki-taka to try and drag them out a little bit and hit them as hard as we can as we try and secure 7th position. It's a lead side that's been in the Premier League pretty much the entire save. I think they started in the Championship, got promoted that year, and have been a Premier Division team all the way through. They've still got Badiashile, a young Monaco defender at the start of the database. He's had quite the career at Monaco, then at Zebra for a few seasons before the last 8 years at Leeds. Solid, not super spectacular, 3-star current ability and potential. It hasn't really gone any point beyond that. They've still got Frankie de Jong playing, who I think is actually retiring at the end of this year, 36 years of age now, still 3.5-star current ability and potential. He bounced around a little bit. He left Barcelona back in 2023 for £114 million to PSG. Spent about 8 years there before going to Inter on a free and then joining Leeds last season, where he's still contributing quite a bit. 35 appearances last year. He's on track for a similar amount this year, 7.18 as an average rating. Very impressive for the old boy up top. It's Milan on the left wing is their leading assist maker for the season. Looks to be a solid winger / striker. Some good technical attributes in there. 17 corners, crossing, 16 passing, penalty taking. He's got a bit of ability about him. And he'll be trying to supply the man up top. Patrick Kennedy, 23-year-old English international, 2 caps and 1 goal to his name. Came through at Watford, then was at Burnley for a few seasons. It's his first year at Leeds and he has 8 goals to date in the Premier Division season. So we know they're a good side, but we know they have been struggling over the last month or so. Passionately, we're going to say great opportunity to show all the pundits they've been right to back us up. And if we get 3 points here, one, it kind of picks us up a little bit after a poor run of results the last few games, but also gives us a bit of a point advantage against them as well, heading into that race for 7th spot. Kennedy's gone on a great run here, and then he's just been clattered by Carlos Andre. He's going to go to VAR. Is it going to go to a penalty? It is indeed. Carlos Andre picks up a yellow card and gives away a 90-second penalty. It's going to be Milan to take. Goes to the left-hand side, and it's a good penalty to be fair. Mancini nowhere near it. And his 15th goal of the season, Milan, from that left-hand side. It's a very impressive contribution from the winger. And we've got it all to play for here in a minute. Just a rash challenge from Andre. It was a good run by Kennedy, to be fair. He went past a few different players, including Warburton, left for dead on halfway. But not really the scenario we wanted to put ourselves in the early part of this game. It does see Leeds jump back up into 8th spot on 50 points. Bournemouth, of course, still a game in hand on the majority of the other teams. Or 2 games in hand, actually, by the time this one's played. Corner now, Mertens to take. Good header away by Mokhtar. Milan, the goal scorer, will pick it up on the right-hand side. Ball in towards Dukic. It's pinballed around to Kennedy. Was he onside in the build-up to that one? FC Isle of Man have their work cut out now. We definitely do. We might actually also pull out. We'll see it here. It's a good header away from Mokhtar. And this Milan ball just into an area. Who is it that keeps everyone onside? Looked like Dukic was potentially offside in that one. Maybe it's Cedron over on the right-hand side. Tough one. But Kennedy gets the ball in. And we're also going to use a demand more shout here. Got to pick everybody up a bit. And maybe we drop back to our positive structure. Just to try and drag them out a little bit more with about 10 minutes remaining in the half. Let's use Get Creative. 5 minutes remain. Let's see if we can't drag something back before halftime. Otherwise, we know what the halftime team talk is going to be. Halftime called, 2-0 down. 3 shots, 1 on target, 53% possession. 5 shots, 2 on target, 47% of the ball, 4 leads. Aggressively. Where's your passion, lads? Pride's at stake. And they've at least responded positively. I'm going to leave it as positive for now. Let's see if some of the players come out and play a little bit better in the first 15 minutes or so of this second half. And if not, we'll just put our foot down for the last 30 minutes. We're through that time now, so let's just make those changes. All right, attacking for the last 30 minutes. Get a bit more aggressive in possession. Who's struggling the most? Ortiz not having a great game. Jimmy Winter will come on as an inverted winger on that side. Rivera also struggling. Scott Phillips will come on. And Carlos Andre not having a good game either. We'll bring on... Screw it. Let's go for broke. We're going to roll the dice a little bit. Passionately, I have faith in you. Get out there and make a difference. And everyone's responded positively. We'll use Get Creative as well. It's a highlight for Leeds from the set piece. Kennedy with the strike and Mancini with a good save. There's a couple of set pieces they've had now where they've knocked it down to a supporting player. Nielsen with the resulting corner. Looks towards back stick. It's pinballed around again. Mancini with a good save. If we get this out early, Peacock's free on the right-hand side. He's gone towards him now. It's a bit slow though. The defence did quite well to drop back in numbers. Cedron with the possession. Finds Leicester. Now Henri works to switch out towards Medjugorje. I'll get rid of the mouse so that you guys don't see that extra ball. And the highlight just comes to an end. I thought we were in a good position then. All right, through 70 minutes, we're going to use Get Creative again. got to really start pushing for something, but statistically, Leeds are well and truly on top of us. As we get into the last 10 minutes, I've only really got one more roll of the dice up my sleeve, and that's demand more with 10 minutes remaining. Cedron, good tackle, wins it back from Leicester. Now Barbosa. Now can we get men forward on the counter-attack? Barbosa driving with pace through midfield, and he goes to strike from distance when really just had to try and find an angled pass to one of the wingers bursting into the box. Throwing now, left-hand side. Medjadou's going to take it. It goes to Henri. Medjadou, deep ball towards backstick. Peacock was there and it pinballed around. I think it clipped Leeds' defender on its way out for the goal kick, for the corner. Peacock to take now. It'll be a late run if we try and bring something back. We did have a late flurry against Arsenal, but highlight comes to an end. And it's 1 minute of additional time. Wide free kick for Peacock towards back post. Henri's there, and that was the chance, really, I think, if we were going to set up some sort of grand comeback in the last few minutes. We're into a 1 minute of additional time. The ball's going to reset from Clark in the Leeds goal. Badiashile, now Selico. We're pressing a bit too aggressively, and they've played it over us into midfield. Badiashile now to Milan, who's been involved in everything good that Leeds have done. Thankfully, that ball forward cut out well by Warburton. Cedron, now to Leicester. Back to Henri. Now Phillips, he's trying to flick on header to no one in particular. He really needed to try and control that one. And dare I say it, with about 10 seconds remaining, it is indeed the end of the game. 9 shots, 2 on target, 50% of the ball. 9 shots, 6 on target, 50% possession for Leeds. Their shots on target, really the difference there. But going 2 goals down so early, aggressively, wasn't good enough. Fire a bit of a rocket. And I said at the start, we just needed to try and tread water a little bit to keep distance between us and the chasing pack. And in reality, by the time we come back for tomorrow's episode, there's a chance that Bournemouth will be above us if they win their 2 games, and an increasing likelihood that Chelsea and Liverpool will be further ahead of us than they were going into today. And that means that as good as February was, March has been absolutely horrific. 4 straight defeats during that period. We might have to have a little bit of a head scratch and figure out what we were doing effectively in this 5-game winning streak, and kind of like a 6-game streak before that where we didn't lose. And what did we change before the Chelsea match? I know we went fluid counter, but why has that then changed our ability to close out our regular attacking structures in that period as well? So there's some stuff to work on, definitely. I think what we will do is we'll jump forward a little bit. We might play the Newcastle, Bournemouth and Everton games offline. And then we play Southampton, who are probably the big surprise packet of the season, up in 2nd position. And Liverpool, who are in 5th, 2 top 7 sides, really setting kind of a bar for us about how we want to play and what we want to achieve in European football. And then that also means we'll come back on Friday and do the last 2 games of the season against Brighton and Leicester. And hopefully, fingers, toes, arms, eyes, ears, whatever you got crossed, still in those European spots. It would be a shame to drop out after spending so much time in those top 7 positions. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. That is the portion that I appreciate the most. If you've got any feedback, positive or negative, drop it in the comment section below. I do respond to every individual comment that I get, and I do appreciate the engagement quite a bit as well for everyone that has been commenting over the last couple of weeks, and for the guys that have been watching the episodes as well. Like, we've had a really good group of like 15 or so people watching every minute of pretty much every episode, which I appreciate a tremendous amount. But more than anything, thank you for watching. I've been Sean, and I'll see you all again in the mixer.